Hey, what's up guys? This is GaryOak of Base Trade TV coming at you once again with my second vlog. Unfortunately, the audio quality probably sounds really terrible. That's because I have the really awful trial version of XSplit, and apparently you can only use mono sound now. And since I don't stream enough, it's not a really justifiable investment to purchase the proper version of XSplit where you can actually use stereo sounds. So yeah, I'm kind of on 16-bit mono right now. I'll try my best to come up with a viable solution for the next vlog. And more motivation for coming up with a viable solution is that this Saturday I am going to be doing about 3 hours of live streaming. I won't be streaming StarCraft because my computer has really terrible frame rate issues even without XSplit, and with XSplit it's just a horrible, unwatchable experience that I don't want to put anyone through. So that's why I'm exclusively a co-caster, and you don't see me too much on Base Trade TV. But don't worry, I am here. What I am going to be doing on this Saturday for the charity stream is between, I think, 11 p.m. and 1, or 11 a.m., sorry. 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., give or take. I will be doing 2-3 hours of old school Doom streaming. Yes, the Doom from 1993, 1994. Except I'll most likely be playing newer versions of the game because, as most of you probably don't know, people have been making more and more new levels for Doom ever since 94, and there are still really good levels coming out and being worked on today. So I'll probably be playing a more modern version of the game. What does that mean? The levels you haven't seen before, and depending on what version or what they're called WADs, W-A-D. That's the extension for what the Doom levels are saved as. What this means is if I play certain WADs, you might see new monsters, you might see special boss fights, or I may just play ones that run with typical vanilla Doom that are just custom levels with maybe a few new textures, and that's about it. But the big difference is that they're extremely, extremely hard in a lot of cases. Some of the Doom WADs out there are just many, many, many times harder than the retail version. Like, I can go through Doom 1 and Doom 2 practically with my eyes closed on the hardest setting, get 100% kills, items, secrets, in practically every map. I know them all like the back of my hand. So if I played like Doom 2, I could probably breeze through it in a couple hours, but 2-3 hours. But it probably wouldn't be too entertaining because I'm not good enough that I can do crazy speedrun stuff. So you're better off just watching someone like a professional, like with a recorded speedrun. Or you could watch me struggle through really, really hard maps, like absurd maps, and just get killed over and over and over again. Preferably with somebody just heckling me the entire time and making it really funny, interacting with chat, that sort of thing. I'm on the fence about what I want to do because, as I said, if I could just easily play Doom for about 3 hours like original Doom and just destroy it, and if you haven't really seen Doom in a long time, it's still an interesting experience unless you've recently seen a speed run, then you're like, yeah, this is bad. Anyway, I would have gotten an alternative for this version of XSplit, either a different version, different, or using something else like FF-Split if I had time, but I've actually been really, really busy, and I am going to be really, really busy for the next week straight. I'm recording this on Wednesday, and I'm busy all the way until next Monday just doing this and that. I'm taking a writing class in school, so I'm really, really busy with writing my homework, which is a good few hours. Yesterday I spent about 2-3 hours on homework, realized it wouldn't fit the criteria, so I had to scrap it. And, well, here's the thing. When you're writing an essay, most people are like, how the hell do I get to the required word count? In creative writing, believe it or not, it's the exact opposite. At least with what I'm doing, because it's introduction to short fiction, meaning it's like, okay, here's your homework assignment, 500-word limit, and I want to write something, and then I'm partway through, and I'm like, I've only gotten a fraction of the way through this, like notes for the scene that I set up, because what I do is I write what the scene is, what I want to accomplish in the scene, who's in the scene, what roles they adopt, if I want to be really thorough with it, and just sort of write little notes, like by hand on paper, and then I start typing. So it sort of gives me a good skeleton, good infrastructure, good guideline to follow. I can obviously change it. It's nothing set in stone. I was about 300 words in, and I was only a tiny little bit through it. I hadn't even gotten to the real, like, I just barely got the scene moving, and I was meant to get the entire thing done in 500 words or less. And I was probably going to write 1,500 to 2,000 words, so that kind of presented a problem. So I had to kind of scrap 2, 3 hours of work and just write something from scratch. Luckily, I got that done. But I also have my own personal writing projects, which is what I do most of the time when I'm not casting. I also have to cook all my food because I live alone. So that can take a while. If you're not used to it, it basically takes about an hour out of your day if you want to do something proper. You can't eat, microwave food and frozen pizzas every night. You'll basically be 500 pounds pretty quickly, and that's not something I want to be. So yeah, basically I'm just busy writing, writing, writing. So I'm either writing or casting, and I've got my own personal projects to do. And the reason why I have due dates for that is I've set them up for myself, number one. Number two, I have a friend of mine who actually helps me edit, because no matter how good you are, you should always have someone of either equal or higher skill level than you at English and or writing to sit down with you and edit. And I'm talking about printed out pen and paper circle little things where it's like, okay, this comma shouldn't be here. This comma should be a period. I should add a comma here. This ellipsis should be an em dash. Tiny little things like that, as well as rewording some sentences saying, this is like a 30-word sentence. I can say the same thing in 20 words. And most of these things are very, very, very hard to catch when you're first drafting. That is why if you want to hand in anything really good or write anything really good, you have to do multiple drafts. Um, so that's kind of my life right now, kind of like my week. My Mondays are really busy too because I do my writing class on Mondays. I come home, get a couple hours breather, have to eat something really quick, hopefully like leftover food that I prepared the previous day, and then go play Highlander, which is a format in Magic the Gathering where you basically build the best deck you can out of pretty much any card ever made. And it's 100 cards, and it's called Highlander because there can be only one copy of any card in your deck, and you basically go at it. So I don't get home from that until about 11 o'clock, so that's my whole day. I have like almost no time to myself on Mondays, which is okay, but it basically means I have 6-day weeks. Um, so that's about it. I actually had a proper amount of substance to this vlog. I'm very surprised. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys are still listening because I probably sound really, really terrible. It's not my hardware. It's nothing like that. It's XSplit. So rage at them. I'll do my best to circumvent this for next time, because if I don't circumvent this by this weekend, then I don't think many people want to watch a charity stream while I have mono sound coming out of my computer, even though it's, Doom 1. You'd still want stereo sound for that, plus the audio commentary. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.